My name is Marilyn, Stamping Creations with Marilyn, coming to you from Spruce Grove, Alberta, Canada. On Thursday, July 3rd, some days it's really hard to remember what day it is, Um, and I'm streaming to YouTube only today, so hopefully you're on YouTube. If you think you want to follow me on Facebook, I did put a link there so you can get over onto YouTube to follow, and I think everything is working. I have a question across the top for you as usual. Do you take your crafting on the go during the summer? And if you do, what do you take? Do you take paper pumpkin? Do you take your own kits? Do you take some of those leftover projects you haven't finished? Just let us know. Faye is here with me. She asked not to be put on screen, but maybe another time we will. And she's going to help me with answering some questions. And if we don't get them answered during the live, we will certainly answer them afterwards. Will be a little bit different than when we were on Facebook because we can't go in and actually specifically answer your question there, but we can over on YouTube. We will do that. So, having said that, thank you for joining me. If you've never joined before, I'd like to welcome you here. We are a great, caring community that we just love sharing. So let's keep doing that. And I'm going to. This is a new program too, so I'm going to try to switch my camera to my desktop and show you a few things there. First of all, it's not very big, but I do have it printed out. Online exclusives that happened July 1st. A whole bunch again. We've got 1, 2, 3 pages. Great products there. If you want to look at them on the website, that's probably the best thing. Like I say, I've got them here, but it's small print. The ones that were released in May, the one that I really like, and if you've watched me for a while, you know that I've been using it, is the Sunrise Sailing Bundle. And that I'm going to use again tonight, as you can see by this card. So I'll just go over what I'm using to try to remember for myself. I see Kathleen and Pam and Linda. I did see your name across there, so great. So Sunrise Sailing has a stamp set with different fonts. A sailboat, this fill in here, this fills in here, a squiggle of water, another squiggle of water, some great words. Plus, it has dies with different sails, some birds. And I could have cut those out of white to use tonight instead of embossing, but I'll use embossing because that's kind of a neat technique to share with you. Hi, Stacey. And clouds. These pieces can be cut out and made like water at the bottom. And also, it comes with a hybrid embossing folder. And that's really kind of neat because it not only embosses, but it cuts out at the same time, if you want it to. You don't have to. You can emboss and just leave it. So I really like the set. And you probably gathered that from what I've been doing with it. I've also used tonight for the greeting, I've used a die out of here, the Stylish Shapes, one of my favorite sets. For cutting out the rectangle, I've used textured note dies, and I will be using that, showing you how I did that. And some embossing, trying to rearrange my desk here. If you want dimensions for this, so you can make one of your own, be sure you sign up for my newsletter. It will be in there on Tuesday. I do that each week. I am using Misty Moonlight paper, Misty Moonlight ink, and Smoky Slate ink. So that kind of gives you the lowdown. And I'm going to start by attaching the DSP. And the DSP is from the Country Woods 12 by 12 bundle. So the first thing is to glue this on the front. And I copied this, case this, whatever you want to call it, from Allison Stamps. And she said to make sure that you glue the whole thing down. A lot of times when we cut out a section like we're going to, you don't glue the center because you want to use the pieces, which I think was on the one I did last week. But I'm going to use the whole thing, or glue the whole thing, because we do want it to stay together. And just center it as best you can on there. Oh, Kathleen, nice. Kathleen is getting the Painterly Pears Suite. That set, I believe, was shared at On Stage. So some of the ladies already have been sharing samples. The set itself didn't do a lot for me, but I love the paper. So hopefully, Kathleen, when you get the paper and the whole set, you will share some samples with us, because they're pretty awesome. So this set has 8 different dies. This is the one I'm going to use. I should show you first what I did so you don't do it. I used a larger one thinking I had to have it. I didn't have very much room up here. It did still fit for this, and it does stand up, but I like this one better. And the other neat thing with this card, can you see it there? It's got a flappy piece. So I thank Allison Stamps for sharing that with me. So I'm going to bring in the cut and emboss machine. And sorry, you probably won't be able to see all of it. But when I put this on, I'm going to leave, what did I do here? More space at the bottom than the top, because the piece that we put in to hold it, which is this guy, takes up quite a bit of space. So I want to make sure it's going to be hidden. So I am going to, again, eyeball it, but move my rectangle die just a little bit closer to the top. Not centered, you know how we keep, hello Linda. You could have been under, Robert. We knew who you were after you told us. But that's okay. Glad you're back. So I've got my Post-it notes there. I'm going to just run that through and cut through the cardstock and the designer paper, if I'm powerful enough, and not running into other things. So I'm just trying to read Kathleen's comment here. I have Ancient Set Fresh Fruit 2, which was a lovely pear stamp. I plan to use it with the new pears. Great idea, Kathleen. That's what we're trying to do more and more of, in my world anyway, is to use new with the old, right? So I have to make sure I can get this off of here. There. So now I have my die cut centerpiece, and it is going to go back in there eventually. I'm going to fold my card base in half. And then I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer and create this piece for the bottom. So it is cut at 4 1/4, same width as the card base, by 3 1/2. So with the 3 1/2 up top, I need to do a whole bunch of scoring. So the first one is 1/2 inch. And then, because it was easier to do it to the to the right that way. I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to do 1 1/8. I'm going to do 1 3/4, 2 3/8, and 3. And that's going to fold up like an accordion and allow the card to stand and not, like now if we stood it up, well, it does there, but once we got the other piece in it, it might flip over. So I'm just going to do like we normally do, is the accordion. Back and forth, back and forth. Did any of you, this reminds me of making the paper Kleenex flowers. Did you do that? I think even for our wedding we had Kleenex flowers, which was kind of silly because it was rainy up to the wedding. Excuse me. That's what happens when you try not to cough. So now that that's cut, I'm going to put it on. Whoops. Oh. And oh, sorry. It should be the same width. And I'm going to move it up just a little bit so that on this one, I noticed after I got it together, it kind of rocked. And even though it has that swinging piece, I didn't want it rocking. And then, as we've done before, just fold the back over, and it all fits as it should. Oh, that sounds much better. Now, to insert this piece again, what I have a piece of 2x2 computer paper, folded in half, and she said she used, on the first one she used cardstock and it was too thick. So she used this computer paper and it worked well. I'm going to take the fold side and glue it here. So just at the top. I do have a candy, Marie. Thank you. So if you hear me chomping on it, that's why. Then I'm going to, and I have been taking Buckley's, but that's pretty ugly stuff. So then to put this in here, you just line it up again where it come out of. And because I put glue on the back side there, now it's going to swing. So I thought that was kind of neat. Then I put a sailboat, and I just wanted to share, you know how we all think, okay, it's misty moonlight, it's got to be misty moonlight. I thought, no, I want to give it a bit of definition. So I used the smoky, what did I say? Smoky slate. This was a little bit, can you see that? Just not crisp. So I re-inked my pad, and I must show you this. This is an old pad, as you can tell by the case. It has a spot on it here. If you can see that. There. The ink does not absorb there. It looks like almost something got stuck there. I have the feeling I may have to buy a new one of those. And, but when I re-inked it, it did look better. So just keep that in mind if you're ever thinking, there's something wrong, try a re-inker. That's why I always suggest getting one with the pad. And I also had tried the Misty Moonlight ink. Did not like that at all to go on there. So that's why it's nice to have choices. So I'm going to use dimensionals. I did that wrong already. I should have done my, you know what? I'm going to, if I was going to emboss, I should have done it first. Too late. Oh, sorry, you guys. I should shut the microphone off. And then I have my best wishes. Keep chattering. I hope that if you've got questions, Faye can see them and is helping. I'm trying to keep from coughing. So then for the back, I thought it would be nice to have a swirl of water. This one I stamped off. This one I did not. And I am going to, because I messed that up, just bring the Big Shot in, or the Big Shot. You know what I mean. The cut and emboss machine in again. Cut the birds. And very carefully put them in there. Where did they go? Thanks, Catherine. Glad you like it. So, great way. You've got these little pieces of paper. I watched somebody the other day, and they said before they put away their, I think it was designer paper in that case, but they just cut out a bunch of dies from that, and then they had them ready to go. They didn't have to try to remember where their paper was or anything else when they wanted to use them. So can you see how it's pretty yucky plate, isn't it? See how tiny those are? The first ones I cut out, I almost lost. So I'm going to just put a drop of glue, and a drop of glue. And I know, just want to share. I see you're answering that question. What do you take crafting? That's great. Before I forget, Pam, I know you were on here. Just want to share that you won last week's card, which I will show you again in a few minutes. And just a reminder of our Zoom class. Happens on Fridays. Our Christmas card class, the second Thursday of the month, and the monthly card class, the third Thursday. Most months, this month of July, it will be the fourth one, but all of those you can find information in my emails if you want to join us. So now I'm going to try to put these birds on here. So Catherine, you said you had used this set lots. Any tips you want to share? Greatly appreciated. There, if I let that dry, it should be good. Yes, that card is that DSP, sorry, is great for that. Thank you. Yes, keep commenting. And then I have another quick card that I want to show you that I've been doing. I'll let you see these two. This one is done with the cloud cover paper, which I really liked if I wouldn't have cut it quite incorrectly, I guess. Hello, Karen. I didn't realize you were there. Good to see you. But today, I don't know if you saw my post recently that I do my print out and do my cards first part of the month. And for July, I needed 48 cards, but I needed 18 anniversary cards. And I'm going, oh my gosh, that's a lot of cards. So today I had some time to spend, and I created this for the anniversary cards. A very simple Z fold. And it was very plain without the hearts, so I did add the hearts. But there's my, I think I did 12 of them there. I did have a few others done. It was from a sample that I received as a Simply card. Looks much better with this paper. Stacy, yes. Stacy really likes the dark blue one. I think I do too. But this one, with this kind of paper, I'm sure you've all got some of that. Very easy to do. You cut it at 5 1/4, and then I cut 2 and 4. And when I went to put it together, realized it should be 1 7/8 and 4, just to give you that border. So, like I say, it wasn't hard to do all of those And now I just have to write in them and they're ready to mail. So thank you all. Don't see any questions that you have that I can't answer. Okay, Catherine, I'm going to, the one card I made, you stamp the boat first in the middle of your paper, and then line up the ship in the embossing folder and emboss. That way the inked image is embossed as well. Great idea. I haven't done that one yet. I don't think what I did with the embossing. I did one here not very long ago. I don't know where it's at. It's quite a mess down here trying to keep things organized. So, but that's a good idea. Do your stamping first, and then you can line it up in the embossing folder. Thanks, Catherine. That's great. So, yes, Pam. It's the wheel of names, and someday, if I get things figured out, maybe I can actually do it on camera with you guys, but not today. So thank you so much for being here. Let me know if you're celebrating Independence Day tomorrow, what you did for celebrating Canada Day. We have just a great community, and I love having you here. Sorry if I coughed in your ear. I'm hoping it will be better for next week. Take care now.